The Los Angeles County Museum of Art is the largest art museum in the Western United States.
With a very important and spectacular pre-Columbian ceramic collection that we needed to investigate.
And now we're going to do a big exhibition with these objects here at LACMA, but there's not that much known about ancient Colombia.
It's a challenge. We found the support to go to Colombia in a research trip, and we really didn't know that this was going to change our perspective on life and our perspective of our own mission at LACMA. In the last episode, together with LACMA's Conservation Department, we vetted the artworks that we still had doubts about and made a final selection to present to the audience.
We're about to see if our concept and the way that we envisage it will work when translated into a gallery space. Nice. Okay, so we have our cases. Where are all the vitrines here? Oh my God, there's so much stuff.
Checklist is finalized. All of the lenders have been contacted to start the shipping arrangements. I lead our exhibition registrar team and our outgoing loans registrar teams. It's kind of like project managers specifically for the logistics side of it. So starting out, we do a lot of the paperwork to get it here. So a lot of the loan negotiations, the loan agreements, working with various lenders to coordinate. A large portion of the show is coming from the Museo del Oro, so they'll send 2 couriers with it. A courier, it's a person who, from the lending institution, will basically travel the entire way with the piece and oversee every single step. And it will also have a LACMA representative that goes down there as well. It's really like just having the eyes on it. So they'll watch the piece get packed at their museum and they'll travel with it every step. They'll be there for when there's customs inspections, when there's security inspections. They'll make sure everything's handled safely. And they'll travel with it to the airport. They'll watch it get what's called palletized. So when they put it onto the pallet and strapped down and secured to make sure it's properly strapped and even the crate is being handled safely, and then that will go in the belly of the plane, and then they will fly with it to the other end, and then when it lands at the airport, they'll do all that in reverse. And then they'll oversee the full unpacking of it, the installation of it.
Hola, buenos días, ¿cómo está? Hola, buenos días.
All right, I'm gonna gather the rest of the team out here. So we're going to start with the coins, and then we're going to move to this case here. The gold, it's our first gold case. And then hopefully when that finishes, we'll be able to switch to this one, which is all the votive figures, but we'll kind of see how that goes around lunch. We'll check in, and then I'll probably peel off a couple people from our team. These cases are primarily LACMA, so they'll do that. But so that's the plan. What makes a good exhibition registrar is both like crazy attention to detail and planning, but also a flexibility and a willingness to kind of roll with it, because there's never a single install I've ever had that went according to schedule. Not one. I've been here for 10 years. It just doesn't happen.
One of the other crucial things to think about and to prepare are the mounts for the artworks. We just look for the least damaged side. Okay. This has these scratches. Right, and this? Yeah, this looks like I would have this facing the front.
Okay.
Because it's going up against a wall. So
right, so you won't see.
Yeah, so you won't see the back.
Do you want to center the stripe?
I think it looks good centered. Yeah, we can have this facing the front.
Okay.
To put a bowl or a plate on a wall, it needs something to hold it there. And at LACMA specifically, we use mounts to secure artwork against earthquakes and theft. Once I know what the curator is looking for, I will sit down with the piece and consider all my options design-wise. And then I will go about fabricating it. And I usually work in steel, so I weld, and even the smallest things, I try to stay with steel because it's the most sturdy. I weld, I grind, and sand, and shape. And sometimes I just have to get really creative and bend metal quite a bit to get these arms into places that are not very visible, into like little nooks and crannies that don't show, because I don't ultimately want the mount to be what people see. It's okay to know it's there. It's a good thing to have a mount on an object. It means it's safe. But I don't want it to take over and be visible immediately. When the mount is completely made and I've sanded it and there's no tool marks and there's no rough areas and it's all smooth on the inside, then I paint it. I prime it and then I paint it close to the piece. I'm, matching colors of ancient artwork or really unusual contemporary artwork can be really hard, but I get it as close as I can. And then we always pad the piece in felt. So there's a felt liner between the metal and the artwork, and then it's good to go.
There are 423 objects, give or take. Next time you got loop in the reg early, because then we can tell you what is possible and what's not possible, which it still might be. Let me just take a look and confirm it.
No, let me see. No, I was thinking a little bit more towards the...
So just pulling forward a little tiny bit.
Wow.
Yep.
Just a little bit lower, like two fingers. O sea, ahí perfecto, sí.
We work with all the teams that have a part in the install, which is a lot of teams at LACMA because we are a giant bureaucracy. So conservation, our art handlers, curatorial, obviously, design, mount making, framing, graphics, all of them have different parts to play in the installation, and all of them have to be scheduled so that they all fit the best, so it actually comes off without a hitch. So the show that you see in the end looks beautiful and like it just came together like that.
There are many things that need to come together in the exhibition space. We did a soundscape with a Colombian musician who is designing the soundscape with ancient ocarinas. And that soundscape, it's designed to create the feel of being there, present, with the sounds in the jungle.
I guess I do have one question for Jaison, which is that if someone enters in this space that we're constructing that has all these connections, but doesn't have much knowledge coming in, what's the best thing that we can give them that they can take away?
Si va a entrar personas que, no importa el nivel que tenga o el conocimiento que tenga, sino que puedan entrar a conectarse y puedan buscar ser amigos de esa conservación, de cuidar la humanidad. Y cuidar la humanidad significa cuidar la naturaleza, o cuidar la naturaleza significa cuidar la humanidad.
Y esa conexión entre naturaleza y humanidad, esa unidad, es algo que en nuestro mundo no está entendido así. That division, ¿no? Nature and humanity.
Yeah, it's true, because a Western modern idea, even of preservation of nature, is to preserve it separately from that, almost as an aesthetic object. Which provides something like maybe air, but not with this connectivity. To see it as one, interconnected, is an entirely different way to think about establishing care.
Exactly.
For both.
Really brings the Sierra Nevada
in, and you can hear it.
Now I can hear.
You can hear?
And
it's the real sound. It's the real sound of that
And
place.
I'm hearing sound from all the way across the galleries. When did you decide to make the banquetos? They're everywhere in the exhibition.
We were sitting all the time in these banquitos or in rocks with Mamo Camilo for hours, and that is an important place where everything happens. They are thinkers. They sit and think of the interconnectedness of everything. So we have a piece from 2,000 years ago, and you have Mamo Camilo today doing the same exercise.
What's interesting to me too is you made this decision with guidance from Mamo Camilo to not have the dates of the object. So one of the primary things in a museum is the label that goes with the object.
The experience for me was we went with them to in Santa Marta to the Museo del Oro in Santa Marta, and they were so reverential to each of the objects. They didn't care they were in a museum,
right.
But all of them said, this is wrong. And when we asked what is wrong, they pointed at the dates. They said these objects were made with the intention of being the connectors between nature and men, and those principles are eternal. They don't have a date. They don't expire. And once you have an expiration date on them, you are not understanding or even respecting them.
I love these cases that you put together with, of course, the aquatic and the birds and the sea lion. For us into the future, that this is a beginning point of a much longer conversation, more listening, and more thinking about how this will affect everything in our lives. I think that's what you said. You went to study an exhibition and it sort of changed your lives.
It changed our lives.
And exactly, this is obviously the culmination of so much work, but it's also a beginning. And we said that too. Like we have it installed, but this is just the beginning, right? So I can't wait.
The most horrible thing to happen is that nobody understands, and that everybody thinks, oh, nice, beautiful objects. There were so many, just that indifference. Déjame saludar a María Alicia. Corazón, ¡Qué bueno que estás aquí!